We're ready to reinsert the drum. Now, this is where sometimes you wish you had 3 hands. You just got to have a lot of patience to do this. Remember, you got to get the gears on the drum on the same side as the pawl right there. So what I did was, because I've got the opposite side of the pawl down, I inserted the axle away from the gears. Had I had it flipped over on the other side, I would have put this axle in first and then squeezed this one in. So I just put that one down there in the hole and just pressed on it with my thumb just a little bit to get it into place. Now I'm going to use my snap ring pliers to separate the frame, and hopefully it'll fall into place, it being the drum, into that other hole. I may assist it just a little bit, just gently squeezing. It's going up, it's working its way toward it, almost. Oh, missed it. Separate it a little bit more, not so much that it can fall out on its own. Let's see, where am I? Oh, I got it. So both ends of the axle are in, and of course those are going to be lubrication points later. Next thing I'm going to do offline is really nothing that needs to be filmed, is I'm going to coat the drum with CRC 226. Remember, CRC 226 is plastic compatible. It lubricates, which means it's going to reduce the friction of the fingers that have tension on them against the drum. I have found this to work really well, and it enhances electrical properties. So when it contacts the band, when the fingers contact the band, we ought to be getting some really good electrical flow. Now this is what I was talking about earlier with the axle protruding through down here. I have found in my common hidden problems videos is that the shifting of this being the drum, left or right, can sometimes move the brush out of alignment with the band. And what happens there is you get a lot of clicking, you get a lot of buzzing, but you don't get rotation of the drum, you don't get recycling, and of course the train doesn't do anything. And I found over time that that's all it is that alignment. So I used to put Mylar down over here and glue it down to hold that axle. Let's say it was out of alignment like this, but in alignment like that, to hold the axle in that place. And I found out that it was a whole lot easier to take the drum out and put in some of the armature space washers, thrust space washers that are used on, not diesels, I may have said diesels earlier, that the thrust washers that are used on steam locomotives in AC Gilbert, between the drum and the frame. It doesn't usually take more than one to get it holding in place a little bit better. And you can put a little light CRC 226 lubrication on it. Works great, and that was an idea that somebody had watching my videos. All right, let's get in position to put the fingerboards back. I'm going to attempt to put the bottom fingerboard on first. You can always know the bottom fingerboard is the one in which the fingers are centered. The top fingerboard is the one in which the fingers are offset. So I've already retensioned them. You'll notice that they're pointed downward from the board, and all I did was put my finger here and push down on them a little bit so that they were out of parallel with the board itself. The cupping of the end of the fingers looks to me to be perfect. I'm going to go ahead and put this one on first because it is not the one that got bent a little bit during the first disassembly process. And all I'm going to do is position it back. And these can only go one way, so you can't really mess this up. Just be careful that you're not bending the fingers at all. And they're not getting snagged on anything. And I keep snagging them for some reason. A little patience. Gonna position them down. Put the slot on top of a tab and the other slot on top of the other tab. Now this is where it may require that you squeeze just a little bit. Oops, I got the fingers on the wrong side of the drum. This may require just a little gentle squeezing of the frame in order to align the tab, and there we go. They're back on. Let's double check it. Looks good. They're pointed up. And I'm looking down inside the drum. They seem to be aligned really well. I hope that this shifting will not impact. They're contacting the band, a band. So it required me to squeeze down just a little bit. Now offline, all I'm going to do is twist these tabs back into position. But I want to make sure that the board is all the way down tightly against the frame. That's not even tight. There's a little bit of gap right there. So I want it way down. And in order to do that, what I do is I go ahead and grab that tab loosely and then force the board down with the needle nose pliers. Then squeeze tightly and then twist. So I'm going to do that offline. And what that should produce is the fingerboard being tightly aligned with the frame. If you don't tighten these tabs enough, you might get wiggle or looseness in this fingerboard. That's not good. It may reposition it slightly. Don't be shy about twisting these tabs until it holds it firmly in place. And you can test it with your fingers to see if it's loose. Don't get overzealous with doing it, because if you twist these tabs, you're risking possibly two things. One is the tab popping off. The other one is the end of the fingerboard popping, because remember, you're putting that fingerboard under pressure when you twist those tabs.